SelectArt.in warmly welcomes you to its monthly interview series, The Artist of the Month. We are very privileged to have a senior and renowned artist like Ramesh Aundkar as our Artist of the Month. We believe that change, adaptation, and reinterpretation very aptly summarize the life, career, and the body of work of Mr. Aundkar. In this episode, we get a peek into his two journeys, his personal life and his career, and how fascinating and inspiring these are. Let us now hear it from the master himself.
I belong to a very small village. There was no school at all. I used to go to school in temple. There is no school building. First and second standard in Maruti temple, and third and fourth standard in another temple. And fifth, sixth, seventh was in a shade for cattle feed. So that was the situation where I brought up. But my father was very fortunate and unfortunate also. He took his initial drawing lessons in Aund. Aund was that time very great institute having art school, etc. And there my father took initial training of drawing. But as his father left Aund and settled somewhere else, he could not pursue his drawing abilities. So then he joined as a primary teacher, and he was famous for his drawing in that Panchakroshi villages around my village. My village is a Pimpri in Koregaon Taluka, Satara Jilla, near Aund. So he used to go to various primary schools to teach drawing. So in first standard, first time he took me to such drawing class, and there I started my drawing lessons.
Starting his life in a small village with minimal infrastructure, Ramesh Aundkar successfully converted adversities into opportunities and continued pursuing his love for art. A model student, he continued learning art in village schools. He then started his formal art education at Kala Vishwa Mahavidyalaya, Sangli, and at JJ School of Art, Mumbai, where he earned his postgraduate degree.
I still remember I drew first a Ganesha, then Shivaji Maharaj, and third was Netaji Subhash. Now also I can redraw it in same situation, same drawing, same position. Thereafter, I came to little bigger town. My mother's Maher. There we took. I studied up to 11th standard. Then I left that place also to join art school in Sangli, in Kala Vishwa Mahavidyalaya. Those Kala Vishwa Mahavidyalaya Sangli, I groomed about up to advance. And in advance, I came to Mumbai in 1975 and learned there for 3 years, 76 diploma, 77 fellowship, and 78 art exhibition diploma.
Ramesh Aundkar has successfully spanned the entire spectrum of an art professional. Starting as an artist, he has donned many hats, that of a researcher, an art historian, an art critic, a designer, a teacher, as well as being a government servant. A true all-rounder indeed.
I joined Weaver Service Center, then came back to Mumbai. I joined that central government Polytechnic for Women. About 5 years I was in Mumbai. Thereafter I was transferred to Delhi. In Delhi I was about 10 years. Then I was again transferred to Baroda. Baroda I was there for 5 years. Then I took voluntary retirement from that central government service. Then I did job for 5 years as a visiting faculty to Sasmira, then Empire Institute of Learning, then Cambridge College, teaching art and design, textile design, etc. as a visiting faculty. Meantime, I got invitation from Symbiosis, and then 2006 I joined Symbiosis. During all this period, in 1980 to 1990, I was art critic for Lok Satta and Lok Prabha. I wrote art columns covering various art functions in Mumbai, art exhibitions, art symposiums, art workshops, etc.
A master artist, Ramesh Aunkar is equally at ease with watercolors, oils on canvas, to hardboard and enamel paints. Choice of medium not only depended upon his mood and subject but also on his personal financial health. While watercolors remain his favorite medium, he is equally at ease with other media.
In 1980s, I was using only watercolors as I was not that rich to handle other mediums, because it was initial stage after getting out from art school, and I was from poor family, so I didn't have any resources. I got part-time service in those days, and somehow I managed doing some paintings. Then I got that Weaver Service Center job, and there I started full-fledged painting in Nagpur and participated in few competitions, and there I got recognition, and that recognition took me to Jahangir Art Gallery's first group show. And that time Mr. Ram Chatterjee was in charge of Jahangir Art Gallery. He established one society for art appreciation, and he arranged that show. So that was my first exposition. The name of that group show was Young Artist Exposition, and all young artists like me were selected. About 8 artists were selected, and first time my name, my painting and my short biography was printed on a art paper by Jahangir Art Gallery in 1980. I still have that catalog with me. So entire page was given to me. It was very, very, I liked that very much. And thereafter, I have not looked back. Thereafter, I did many one-man shows, many group shows. After that exposition, I took part in another Jahangir Art Gallery's venture that was called Monsoon Show. First Monsoon Show held in 1981, and Jahangir Art Gallery again invited me to participate. So that time also I did waterproof ink and watercolor on handmade paper. Jahangir Art Gallery gave me gallery for my first one-man show. That time, can you imagine how much gallery rent was? Just 360 rupees for a whole week, plus electricity charges. So around 500 rupees I spent, and I had my first one-man show. That time I started enamel on canvas. The first time I handled canvas medium, enamel on canvas. So that's how change in medium happened. Then again I came back to my watercolor, and this time TV was the inspiration for changing that medium. In those days, in 1985 or something that time, TV was not yet colored, it was black and white. And there was antenna. We used to see snow effect, ghost images on the screen. So those snow effect and ghost images give me another style, inspiration for developing my style and developing my texture. So that time I used ghost images in my painting and that snow effect in background. So the painting you like most is in that style only. You will say double line, that is ghost image, and foggy background, that is snow effect. So that is the change again. Then again I changed my style to hardboard and enamel paint. Hardboard is generally used for backing a photo frame, that hardboard. I took that hardboard and enamel paint and furniture paint. And by using enamel paint, furniture paint, I did one more show. So that's how I'm changing every time with medium. Then again I shifted to canvas. Then again I shifted to handmade paper and watercolor. So that's how I'm changing, shifting. And nowadays I'm fixed to my handmade paper, watercolor. I can do canvas now, but as there is no much space for me to handle canvases, I am stick to handmade paper and watercolor and acrylic colors.
A prolific artist, in his art career spanning 5 decades, Mr. Auntkar has held over 25 one-man shows and innumerable group shows. His works are treasured by committed art collectors like Azim Premji and Dattaraj Salgaonkar, as well as by the government institutions like Lalit Kala Academy, Discovery of India, and National Gallery of Modern Art.
I did about 10 shows of my painting in Mumbai. Bajaj, Taj, Jahangir, all these galleries. From Baroda also I did 2 shows in Mumbai. So from 1980 to 2000, I did about 25 one-man shows and about 30 plus group shows. My biggest collector is Azim Hashim Premji, owner of Wipro. He is having about dozen of my paintings collected during 1980 to 1990. Then another collector is Mr. Dattatreya Salgaonkar. He is having about 6 paintings. Then another person is Dilip Kulkarni. He is having about 6 paintings in his collection. Data Pro is having few paintings. Then Ramesh Malde, who left India and established nowadays settled in UK, he is having about 4 or 5 paintings in his collections. And in government collection there is the National Gallery of Modern Art, Lalit Kala Academy, Discovery of India, Nehru Center. These are few. In Pune, Kalyani forging company having a few paintings in their collection. And in private, there are many in India and abroad.
Ramesh Auntkar's life and art journey exemplify the victory of personal commitments against the challenges that life throws up. In the next episode, we speak to him about his unique and one of its kind art style, the 4D art. Don't miss it.